I'm the baker at an inn, and I'm actually going out of town soon, so I need to make sure that the bakery is ready to go for a few days. I started with my usual cherry coffee cakes, and then I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for the other little breakfast bakery option, but I was texting my mom and she said, do blueberry muffins, so that's what I did. While everything was in the oven, I started on my limpa bread. Yes, limpa means loaf in Swedish, but in this part of the world, it refers to a specific kind of bread. I feel like I have to say that in every video, otherwise people get mad at me. While my limpa was kneading, I also started on my cinnamon rolls, and then my muffins came out and looked delicious. I always put my streusel on top. I feel like it's become my muffin signature at this point. The coffee cake always takes forever to bake, but when it came out, I sliced it up and got it up front to serve. And then I started on some pumpkin bread, which is possibly my favorite thing that I make. The inn was donating a cheesecake to a fundraiser. I think it was for the high school, but I don't know. I was just doing what I was told. But I made an Oreo cheesecake and got that in the oven as well. So my bread and the cheesecake were in the oven. Then it was time for me to roll out all of my cinnamon rolls. My flour tosses have been getting better and better. Also, I have found that I used to like putting butter down and then cinnamon sugar on top, but lately I've been mixing the butter and the cinnamon sugar together, and now I prefer that. I do still prefer using a knife instead of thread to cut my cinnamon rolls, which I know you guys are just baffled by, but it's just quicker for me right now. I'm not saying I won't change my mind in the future. Then it was time for me to punch down my bread. This is as satisfying as it looks, and I also am listening to audiobooks, but I've been jumping between a few, so I'll put what I'm listening to in the caption below and we can discuss books in the comments. I also realized I needed to get a bunch of pies in the oven because we're probably gonna go through like 20 pies tonight, so did that. I made some vanilla bean sugar cookies and then took my cheesecake out to cool, and then I made some double chocolate cherry cookies. These ones have dried cherries, dark chocolate chips, and then of course a chocolate batter. Once my pumpkin bread had cooled, I took it all out of the tin so that I could slice it up. This gets served with our fish boil. I don't know what happened to that little loaf. It just did not come out right, but the rest of them look delicious. I'm going to put my cheesecake in the freezer overnight because I like the texture that it gets when it's frozen, and then the next day I'm gonna thaw it and have it ready for the fundraiser. I did put a little bit of a vanilla bean glaze on my sugar cookies, and then I set up my cookie tray that is just for the house guests. My limpa bread came out of the oven, so I let that cool. And then one of my TikTok followers got me cookies from Butcher's Bake Shop. This one was the chocolate cheesecake one. The chocolate chip one's long gone, but thank you so much to her.